Say, kids, what time is it?
It's kind of like watching TV, but, in your car.
Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens in the studio, dark side of the stream. Not really a dark subject today.
Finally, a happier documentary to watch, man.
Coming from the guy who likes to.
Do we still not have any kind of an intro for this show? It's just
we got an intro. It does its on its own. It's got its own thing,
like something
like
cool.
a jingle. Yeah.
So we are professional.
Yeah, there is a jingle there.
Cool. We are professional.
Yeah, kind of a jingle. Anyway, today we're discussing My Octopus Teacher. One we've been trying to get everyone to watch for the last several weeks. Finally, I got a chance to watch it with my son this week.
It's beautiful.
Did you cry?
No, I didn't cry, but it's beautiful. I've watched it twice because I watched it, and then I turned the missus onto it, and she obviously does not listen to anything I say, but some of her friends told her she should watch it, so then she came around on me, and she watched it.
I thought it was well shot.
It's beautifully shot.
I don't have a 4K TV like you, Mr. Fancy Pants.
You got to have a 4K TV, guys. HDR 4K, come on,
I don't
guys.
make the big bucks like you do, man. One of these days I will.
Welcome to the future, bro.
I need to get that.
Right now, you can
get
get
that money.
A 65-inch 4K HDR TV. Same one that's in my house. Now it's $500.
Yeah. Well, you gonna give me $500 to get one? Yeah.
You're the suit. You're the one who makes the big bucks here. You're the suit.
That's definitely not. I don't have a 4K TV.
God, I have three of them. Three of them in my house.
Yeah, well, I guess everyone now knows who has the money in this station.
Don't rob me.
It ain't me. I'll tell you that right now. So, yeah, it was a really well done documentary. I thought it kind of gave us some insight into a place in the world that I didn't really know anything about.
Right? Who knew octopuses were so badass?
Well, that in itself is really badass. But just the location off of near Cape Town in this bay, this kelp forest that exists, and it's really, really cool. It's a small little area inside this kelp forest that you basically it's crystal clear.
It's like its own little world,
and
man.
Yeah, it's like just going to a different planet. And this guy just became completely obsessed with going to this place.
Yeah, so long story short, just so you know, My Octopus Teacher is about a dude that is out snorkeling or diving or whatever, and he sees an octopus, and he's like, wow, that's pretty amazing. He goes, I wonder what would happen if I went and hung out with the octopus every day for a year. And filmed it.
Yeah, and
incredible.
But actually, there's a little bit more to how he got to that point, and we'll talk more about that next. Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave.
Say, kids, what time is it?
It's kind of like watching TV, but, in your car.
Jay Stevens, Mike the Intern in the studio this morning, Dark Side of the Stream, discussing My Octopus Teacher.
And the alien thing that is an octopus.
You know, I've always said that there is so much life in the ocean that we still have yet. They just discovered a new mammal, for Christ's sake, a new whale, a new species, which
ocean could be where, the way that these alien things are headed, that could be where these guys are stashed out. They talk about the pilots talk about seeing them come out of the water.
Why wouldn't you just hide down there? It'd be a lot easier than hiding in the sky with all the satellites and tracking and GPS and all that
these
stuff.
octopuses are alien creatures. If we found this thing on another planet, we'd be like, this is because the way it changes colors. I learned an interesting fact about octopuses that's a very Jay Stevens fact to know about an octopus. Their reproductive organ, the girls, is up by their brain. So when the dude goes to mate with her, I'm trying to say this as politically correct as possible, one tentacle turns into a dong, basically, and goes up into the brain to reproduce. Yeah, right? Your face. Look at your face right now.
Thank God you're not an octopus.
Right?
God, how many dumb women would be out there walking the streets right now? Sorry.
Jay Stevens, the octopus of the airwaves.
Sorry, ladies. So
your face. That's an interesting fact, though.
It is interesting.
Reproductive organs are up by your brain.
Yeah, it is interesting. Thank God that didn't with the way we work. So this guy, Pippa, is that how you say his name? Pippa, I guess. I don't know. He was a documentary filmmaker and had worked in Africa with this tribe of guys that literally lived in nature's order. And what I mean by that is they had to survive this way for so long that he envied them in the sense that he felt like they were actually part of their natural world. They could track, they knew what things meant. They knew how to respect it. They knew how to live off of it. And he kind of longed for that ability to just kind of be a part of this because, yeah, we live on the planet, but we're so separated from our natural surroundings. We don't have to survive on the woods or the land and stuff like that. And he kind of longed for that. And something happened in his career where he was like, you know what, I'm done doing this.
He went off the grid, it seems like. He had a little hut by the beach, man.
Then went back to where he'd grown up near Cape Town and this really nice bay where they had this kelp forest, and he just started to dive every day. The thing that blew my mind was that as the story is told, they actually they filmed it all too. So as he's telling the story, you're watching it happen. All the things he describes, finding the octopus for the first time,
crazy,
trying to find it again, tracking it, all that stuff. And
how octopuses do their deals.
Yeah, it's so insane. And this particular octopus, I mean, they're all intelligent, but this one just really proved how intelligent it was.
Well, it became like his buddy.
Yeah,
incredible.
And would like jump on it.
Yeah, like a pet, like a dog, like a pet dog.
Very, very cool stuff. My Octopus Teacher, Dark Side of the Stream, next on 104.7 The Cave.
Say, kids, what time is it?
It's kind of like watching TV, but, in your car.
Jay Stevens, Mike the Intern, back in the studio today discussing My Octopus Teacher from Netflix. So, he finds this octopus and kind of starts a bond with it. At first, he realizes this thing is like hiding itself under shells and had the ability
it's doing some really amazing stuff.
I mean,
like,
and it's so cool. And then at one point, I guess he drops his camera and scares it off, and it just takes off, doesn't go back to the den. He's like, crap. So he spends like the next several weeks like learning how to track the thing.
And how they live.
Where
they eat and what they do.
Watches it hunt and then finds it again and kind of bonds with it. And,
gains its trust, Yeah,
knows where she sleeps, knows where it lives, how it eats, and follows it. And it's really, really cool.
Becomes like a pet dog or something. Like, like a pet.
If you're a good, I mean, you know this, you own dog, they become part of your family. They're I mean, some people look at animals as service things, and in some cases they are. But if you've got one, at least in my case, they're a member of the family.
Buddy,
I mean, they're family
members. Kids, tell your parents you want an octopus for Christmas.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and blame Jay when they do.
Jay Stevens said I should get octopus for Christmas.
Yeah, which would be awesome. And these things are so smart.
Which would be awesome, right?
You hear about that one that was in like an aquarium that kept breaking out and shooting water
slick,
at people,
man.
and they are very, very.
And we learned from this that he has all kinds of traits that show high intelligence.
Yeah, and at one point there's a shark incident where it got attacked by a shark and barely made it out there, and he had to make the decision: do I
intervene or not? I know. Come on, man. I would have intervened.
Well,
I would have
intervened. He can't though, because that's not his gig.
You got to protect your homies.
You've got to let nature, do its thing. Unfortunately, as a documentary filmmaker, that's his job.
Oh man, I wouldn't make it as a documentary filmmaker.
Neither would I. I would have punched that shark right in the face.
Yeah, right.
Do they grow their tentacles back?
They do.
So even though it lost
he grew it back. Yeah, it grew it back.
Wow.
It just took a little while. Yeah, it grew it back.
Wow,
crazy, right?
Yeah. So he follows it. He kind of watches it eat, and then he
watches it play with fish.
Yeah, and that was the other thing. Watched it playing, and
that was crazy, man.
It's so cool. And they got all this stuff on film,
and it's
which
really
is
just like I say, it's really well shot. Like the missus, her attention span for documentaries is about a 2, but she was even just because it was so beautiful looking. This thing, the way it was shot,
cool documentary to watch with the family.
It's not that boring. It's nice to pleasant to watch,
and also it gives you a really good idea of. Yes, we live in a big world, but how small these worlds are and how big they are within their own
like
little
its own
universe.
Ecosystem.
Yeah, and that's exactly what this place was.
That's it.
And
I'm leaving. I'm gonna go hang out with an octopus.
I want to go dive with this guy, but man, he must have been able to hold his breath for a long,
baller,
time.
Right? No gas tanks.
He was down
Boom.
there for. I mean, I was like, dude, this dude is just. He's like, I just trained to, This film,
very trippy cat. This dude too. Obviously, if he's doing this,
10 years of his life.
Oh, this took 10 years.
10 years of his life. He started filming in 2010. 10 years of his life to make this.
Man.
Yeah, unreal. And it's a very, very cool documentary that's gotten 8 nominations at the Jackson Wild Media Award and 1 Best Feature at EarthX Film Festival. We'll talk one more segment about My Octopus Teacher next on 104.7 The Cave.
Say, kids, what time is it?
It's kind of like watching TV, but, in your car.
Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens back in the studio one more time. It's Dark Side of the Stream.
Bring it on home.
My Octopus Teacher. Now, we're going to give a spoiler away in this segment, so if you haven't watched it, don't watch it. But if you did not know...
Don't listen is what you're telling them.
Yeah, stop.
Don't listen right now.
Stop right now for a little bit.
So you're telling listeners on the radio not to listen.
Well, just so they don't be mad. They're like, hey, you ruined it for me.
Oh,
well,
no.
if you didn't know this...
If you're
Octopuses...
But we warned you days in advance. I talk about this upcoming show all week, and I say, hey, watch it with us so you can take part.
Well, if they didn't
What's the spoiler alert?
That's theirs.
The octopus...
That's their fault.
The octopus is in the water.
So... when a female octopus mates finally and has her young, basically she gives her whole body and everything to the young to make sure that they survive, and she dies. The octopus's life, and he describes it as live fast, die fast.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. He couldn't see her for a while. Then he finally found her, and when he did, he found another bigger octopus next to her, and was like, "Oh crap!
Yeah, the mating has begun."
He had been replaced.
I sensed he was a little jealous too.
Yeah,
that this male octopus was in there, poking through to the brain,
poking through the brain. But then it was also understanding that he knew what was going to happen.
He knew their relationship could never work.
Yeah,
in a romantic way.
It's sad though, because it's I wonder, is he still married? That he talked about his son a lot.
I don't think he's married, man. The dude lives in a hut by the beach, and he's hanging out with an octopus every day. I don't think it's this.
Yeah.
I had a tough time holding the relationship down with that gig.
I know, right?
I have to go hang out with my female octopus friend.
Yeah.
Imagine if chicks had 8 arms, though. Or how rad would that be? As far as for making out?
As long as they're not sticking anything into my brain.
No,
I'm okay.
we do the brain sticking.
So yeah, it was a sad. It was really well done documentary in the sense that you got to hear a story, you got to watch it and live it.
You got emotionally attached.
And it got to the end of
You're getting teary-eyed right now.
No, I mean, I almost did, man. I mean, if I wasn't trying to be strong for my son just so he didn't see dad crying, I mean, I probably would have bawled.
See, I have daughters. I can cry all the time.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, it was good. I really suggest watching My Octopus Teacher if you do get a chance to. It's a really cool documentary with the family.
We need to have a rating system like that. So at the end of these things, we say, all right, what are we giving it? You know what I'm saying? Like our own type. We'll come up with a rating system. Eventually, this show will be professional. And we'll have a rating.
Yeah, we're working on it.
So people go, oh, what do they rate that one? They gave that one.
Well, we better not decide anything without Joe here because he's gonna be pissed.
Well, the dude never shows up. He's probably listening right now too, swearing at us.
Yeah, well, we can't.
Moody Cat strikes again.
We can't pick for him. So.
What is the next one, Mike?
The psychedelic experiences.
Have a good trip.
Yeah, have a good
on
trip.
Netflix. Really good, really funny. It's about celebrities doing drugs and their experiences.
And we'll probably share some of our own personal drug experiences next time you see us. Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave.